Hi guys, Michael behind the camera here from Team Shift. We've got Harry, Whisler and Brandon Polley to show their Lunalight Orcust deck. So Polley won the Stockton Regional on Saturday, which was yesterday as the time of recording, which was 105 players. Harry reached top 4 and then Harry topped Milton Keynes today. So they're going to show us their Lunalight Orcust deck and explain their card choices. So would you like to start?
Yep. We played Free Chick. It's the starter of the deck. Sends a cost, which is pretty broken. Yeah, there's not really much else to say about it, to be honest. Free Tiger. Tiger's like insane. It's not a hard once per turn, so you just summon Lunalights a ton of times, and like even if the ogre has a monster effect to summon, so like you just can't stop it. 2 Martin. Martin's like also insane. Like every Lunalight card is insane. Bounces the Tiger, summons itself. So like Tiger is always like 3 summons, which is just dumb. We did play Emerald on the Saturday. It didn't really, his effect never came up that much. Like it's another thing to send off shit, but we preferred like playing an extra danger than we did.
I used like the Emerald. I searched Emerald Bird once to get through like a really weird game state past a Heroic Seal, because I had like a perfume in a hand and I needed to just discard a Lunalight out of my hand to ensure I had like monster to do the Orcust combo. But apart from that one time through like 7 rounds, I never actually used the card.
Yeah.
The benefit of the Lunalights, right, is that they play through hand traps really well and just add a rank 4 package to the deck.
Yeah. And like they just put bodies on board to like make OTKing really easy. We played the Orcust engine, triple harp. You want to see harp to discard because it makes like making a rank 4 really easy. If you play like the dark rank 4 like Polley did. But it's also like an extra extender if you get a hand trap if you discard it. Could you send 1?
This deck just like plays through so many hand traps. It can even play through like a Nibiru if you can't get to Azathoth, because your Lunalight monsters keep summoning back, and then you normally can like discard one of your Orcus and get that engraved to start the Orcus combo as well. So like you never stop running out of power pretty much.
Yeah, and like the reason why we played 3 harp instead of some lists are playing like 1 or 2 is if you open harp, you don't have to use Nightmare to get harp, so you use Nightmare to send Gizmek. And Gizmek is actually like insane. Gizmek helps like summon it in their turn to do link plays. It's just like 2 material if you summon it in their turn and then your turn again. It has a pop effect and it just helps you stop dying, like summon it in defense if they're trying to barrel sword kill you.
Like even if you open it when you're going second and it's like in your 5 cards, like nearly every time I saw that, I always did it in the end phase and just summoned it, like because the chance of the only card that you really would like miss banishing that's like a 1 of is like
Skeleton.
Yeah, skeleton. And as long as you don't banish skeleton, like you're pretty much fine. And even if you do, you probably have enough monsters in your hand to just like borrow sword kill them anyway.
Yeah.
You'll get to a point later in the game where it doesn't matter so much what's in your deck, it matters what's in your graveyard.
Yeah. Every time I summon Gizmek in their end phase, I banish Symbol every single time. I'm not even joking. But like, it didn't even matter because like the deck just puts so many cards on the board anyway, so you can always get to like borrow load without having to have the Symbol.
And also, it just makes borrow sword gaming people so much easier, because if you have like an extra, if you open like a harp or like a nightmare, you can always just like get nightmare target the borrow sword to make it 3/8, so it does like an extra like 1600 damage, and then you also have a 2/5 body that just summons itself.
Yeah. And then the rest of the Orcust engine, we played obviously the 1 Symbol, the 2 Nightmare, and the World Wand.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard. I don't think we need to explain really like any of the rest of the Orcusts.
Yeah.
We played the Danger engine, so we played 2 of all the good ones. Snake Nessie Jackalope. The Danger we bumped up was Mothman to 2 because it's a level 4, so you can like get to Azathoth a lot easier. Summon it off Jackalope or its effect. And its effect's also like pretty good if you open like Martin, because you can choose to discard the Martin to get a search. We also played Bigfoot. Well, I played Bigfoot today. That was the newest addition to the deck. We just wanted an extra body that summoned.
This was the replacement for the Emerald Bird, because we wanted, like, because the Emerald Bird never came up, we were thinking about playing like a 3rd Mothman. Like, he's not the worst card to see in your open hand.
You don't want it in multiples though, yeah. And like Floodgates are kind of an issue, and this like outs floodgates, and this is also 3k, so it just makes OTK even easier.
I remember one game against Striker, I was going like second, and I had like a perfume engrave and Bigfoot in hand, and I was like, I can get a free pop and a search, but I just decided to summon the Bigfoot for just extra damage. So like in cases where you have like a discard engrave, it can either be like just a 3k body or like a pop as well as a search with another card.
And then we played Zephyros with a Force Tricks, which also bounces Tiger, which is like crazy.
Yeah. It's used in like the pretty much like the main combo of the deck, like every time.
Then we played Free Tenki to access the Lunalight engine. We played Foolish Burial because like it can open your Orcust plays if you get hand trapped on your mermaids, or it can send like your Gizmek or your Yellow in to search the trap.
It's probably one of the
Or
best
Zephyros.
cards in the deck because of how versatile it can be with either engine.
Yeah.
Except the only time I ever saw it, I discarded it off a mermaid.
Yeah, sometimes like you have to keep it in your hand to discard off mermaid. But like it's fine because you're probably winning that game, you're resolving mermaid. Played Free Goods. Goods sends the next 4 cards most of the time, which is Free Perfume. Perfume is like, I'd say the best card in the deck.
Yeah, like it's like basically 3 monsters by itself, because you can perfume to summon something back, and then it can banish from banish from grave to search Tiger, and Tiger is like 3 monsters if you have a Martin in grave. Like it basically gives you like up to like 4 monsters pretty much just off one card.
And it can also send Serenade Dance, which is a summon from deck.
Yeah.
Which like I often like sent this instead of perfume a lot of the time. Summon chick effect.
I didn't really. I think most of the time I always Foolish Goods for the perfume, just because normally you can get to like a Martin, and then like sometimes you want to like Nyala into Azathoth, and if you use the Nyala effect, Nyala doesn't detach its materials for cost, it detaches them for effect, so you get the Martin effect to search the Serenade Dance to give you an extra discard. So normally I just send perfume because and then get the dance off of the Martin discard off the Nyala.
Yeah, and Nyala's only downside is Ghost Egg, but realistically it's not a common card against the deck. So.
Most people, when they like see the Nyala, they don't think it like actually does anything when you use the effect.
They think it's a level up to Azathoth. Yeah.
Like even if you Nyala effect, like if people know you're going to go into Azathoth, like the only thing that really stops it is like a Ghost Egg, because if they like Veil or Impet, then like you've lost like one search, but you never needed the search in the first place.
Because you were already that far into it. Yeah.
Then the Orcust cards, we played Babylon Crescendo, and this deck makes Griffin, so you send some element with Curious. This is
safest.
Yeah, this is the Floodlight we chose to play because we expected Orcusts to be like one of the most popular decks, like whatever variant, and this like hits all of the Orcust variants really well.
I mean, a couple of the other Lunalight Orcust players, if they were playing the Griffin combo, some of them were playing EV, which like, I mean, it kind of hits Orcust at the same time because you just like cool spells, and if it's like pure Orcust, then you can hit stuff like the like Engage or like Instant Fusion or Call by the Grave or stuff like that. But in the Lunalight build, it doesn't really do anything, because if you hit like a perfume, you can
get a search.
You can just like discard the perfume, like discard an Orcust monster to like search Tiger or Chick. Like
it's entirely dependent on how popular you actually think Lunalight Orcust is, as opposed to like what you're actually playing in the deck.
Do you want to go into your extra deck?
Yeah,
because they're a bit different.
Between the 2 days, we after the Saturday we changed a couple things in the extra. So for the actual Saturday, and for Saturday we also played 2 different extras. Harry and a couple others played a more Orcust heavy extra deck, but I didn't have access to the seconding, and even if I did, I don't think I'd play it anyway, just because it only ever comes up if you're trying to do like a grind game or anything, and most of the time if you do the combo, or even if you do like most of the combo, you just kill them turn 3 like nearly every time. Like it just, the second ding or like the third Galatea never came up for me at all. So for my extra, obviously we have the 2 Nightmare cards. So the extra's really tight, so you don't really have space to play like a Cerberus or like on the Sunday we did actually play a second Phoenix, but to start with I didn't think there was enough extra deck space to warrant playing another Phoenix or like another Nightmare, because normally you just use this. If you're going second, you use this to like discard pop up back row, and then you make this, and if you're just going first you just never use this anyway, so it never really comes up. And then for my Orcust package I played 2 Galatea, a Longearsu, and obviously the Ding. This was pretty much fine, to be honest. Like I can't think of a game where I didn't get hand trapped really hard where I ever need anything more than this. Because on the turn 3 you just make a Borrow Sword and you symbol back this, and that's pretty much game like every time. And then for like the combo pieces, you have the Griffin, obviously to set back the summon limit or whatever trap you're playing. The Curious to mill it, the 4 Strix to search out the Zephyros for part of the combo. Because when you make the Curious, you use unless you have a Danger in your hand, like if you use the normal combo, you use 4 Strix.
So Wing Beast.
Yeah, which is a Wing Beast. You use Lunalight, which is a Beast Warrior. And then you use like Orcust Nightmare, which is a Machine, which is the 3 different types of the Curious. And then for the Link 4s, Borrow Sword and Bomber. So Borrow Sword is obviously just needed for like turn 3, and it just pretty much secures you just killing everybody pretty much if you do any part of the combo. And then Bomber was one of the spaces that others were using for this 3rd Galatea or the 2nd Ding. I couldn't really think of anything else that I'd really want to play except for maybe another Nightmare card, and it just means that if you can't get into like the full combo to like Curious Griffin, you can just against certain decks you can just do the normal Orcust play, where you either end on like Bomber and a Babble and like Harp and Symbol to summon back the Longearsu, which is like 2 pops and send, or you just summon Gala, Ding and Crescendo. So this just helps go into the Orcust plays by itself. It didn't come up a whole lot because
the normal board's just better.
Yeah, like most of the time, like even if you get hand trapped 1 or 2 times, you still get into like the main board.
Yeah.
And then onto the rest of the XZs, you have Evil Swarm Nightmare, which is also part of the 2 cards that were pretty flexible in our lists. So this was the 3rd Gala and the 2nd Ding. So the Nightmare is kind of one of the rank 4s. Is a rank 4 you can make after you do the after you start using your Orcust cards, because sometimes you can make Dweller, which is obviously like the best one, but sometimes you can't make a rank 4 before
locking yourself into dark.
Before you lock yourself into dark. So this is just something I played, and like sometimes if Orcust opens like a really good hand where they have like instant fusion and like Vishuda and like a Cosmic or something, they can sometimes play through like most of the board. But if you have a Nightmare, like there's no way they can ever do anything. Like they go Harp Effect and you just bucket, and they like Mermaid Summon and you just bucket, like $2 just ends the turn completely. And then the last 2 is the Nyala Azathoth. So yeah.
My extra that I feel like I'm pretty settled on is the 1 Mermaid and the 2 Phoenix, because if your Phoenix gets stopped for whatever reason, you don't have a Nightmare like to get into the Mermaid ever again, apart from like a Griffin, but then you're turning a 4 into a 1 just to go in. It's not great. So like I like the 2 Griffin, and like you're kind of scared of Floodgates and back row, so like that helps clear through them. I played the heavy Orcust lineup. I played 3 Galatea. I didn't play Longearsu because like I played it all Saturday and I never made it, and like even in the times when I wanted to make it, I never had 2 that I could shuffle back in to use as effect. So like it could have just been a Galatea, which is better in the grind game, because like sometimes you only have 2 cards to put into your Orcust to get going, not the 3rd for the Longearsu. So like it's just dead. And then I played 2 Ding. Like I don't think you need 2 Ding, but I thought I didn't need to play the Nightmare and things, because like my going first board was just like auto win anyway, and I didn't need to auto win more. I'd rather have that for the grind. That's why I played those. And then the rest is just the same: Curious Griffin, Boral Sword, Dweller, 4 Strix, and then the Nala Azafot to stop getting hand traps.
Yep.
And our side decks are a bit different as well.
Yeah, so my side deck was the same for both the Saturday and the Sunday. So I didn't have access to gnomes, but if I did, these would be gnomes, just because the only time, like, Lancia is, like, slightly better against, like, pure Thunder, but gnome is better against pure Orcust, like,
They can
pretty
still
much
screw you under a Dweller in the mirror.
yeah, they
Yeah.
even in like the Lunalight matchup, they can Dweller like Galatea you, and then you still lose because you're under Dweller.
Yeah.
So like Gnome is like literally the best card for going into any Orcust.
Type
pretty
of
much.
match, yeah.
Usually, best card to hit is the Nyala.
Yeah, either
Yeah.
like just the first summon they make, because in the Lunalight deck the first
Extra monster
the first
that don't
extra
point
deck
down,
is the first
Which-
one never points down because it's
It's either
always.
Nala, 4 Strix, or Phoenix. So
Yeah.
you can hit either of those and you're
So
happy.
these like none of them point down.
Yeah.
So if I had access to them, I would be playing gnomes instead of the lanciers. And then the other hand trap we played was Ghost Ogre. So Ghost Ogre was
It's just there for pendulum.
yeah just pendulum
Yeah.
because it's like pretty much the only other combo deck that anyone was actually like we thought anyone would be playing, and
Yeah.
it pretty much was the only other combo deck people were playing.
Pendulum's very much a dice roll game, and you need to have like a hand trap that actually works. Like, not all the time, because sometimes they can play around a ogre, but they can play through Nibiru and like anything like that. So ogre's like the one that works most of the time effectively. That stops them to an extent you can play through.
Yeah, because if they get to Servant, which they do like 70% of the time or something, like your Nibiru is just dead. Like
Yeah.
you can literally never use it. So Ghost Ogre always either hits the Servant or hits the
You
Electromite.
just want to weaken the board because like you can outgrind them in
Yeah,
the long run,
and, like,
or
you-
just kill them.
Yeah, you can. If you open like well enough, you can play through like 3 or 4 negates like
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
And then the rest was 3 Cosmics and 2 Twins for Spell and Trap Destruction. So one of the worst problems this deck actually has is playing through like set 4 pretty much. Like if your opponent goes like set 4 pass and it's like strikes and stuff like that, you have such a hard time playing through them, because if you try and go into like your Orcust plays, like make a Phoenix or something, they can just like get rid of that.
you, or like
You
like-
could literally run out of your extra deck resources, let alone
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
main deck stuff.
only one summon limit. They're all
Like
very
that,
cringe.
like
so.
floodgates are like almost impossible for this deck to get around without stuff like this. So originally I was only playing 3 Twin, but then Harry convinced me that playing more is just like better. And also this is also really good against the
Cyber Dragon.
Cyber Dragon matchup. So we both actually at the start of the Saturday morning, Harry convinced me to play this as well, and it this literally just beats the Cyber Dragon Orcust deck by itself. So like it doesn't matter if you lose game 1, because game 2 and game 3 with this deck, you literally just beat them every time, because you just let them go first. They pretty much have to do full combo, or else they die to your like
Your deck, yeah. Your
they die to your deck anyway. But if they so they always do full combo, and their full combo ends on a ding, a
Galatea.
Galatea and a Infinity,
Infinity.
and this just gets rid of the ding and Infinity like straight away. And then all you have to do is like run this into the Galatea, and then they either have to use the overflow
to
trap
pop it.
to protect the crescendo, because they have to have the Galatea up, or like the Galatea goes and they don't have a crescendo live, and then all they have left is like the overflow pop, which you can play through
Get
either
rid
those
of before
easily.
you
Yeah,
do
like these are what
combo.
these are for in the Cyber Dragon matchup.
Yeah, so
because
if you're
all you have to
open-
do is open one of your back row removal. This is always in your extra deck, so it's like you have it every time. It's not like you have to draw into it like an actual Cyber Dragon. So you clear the 2 things. They're left with a Galatea, Crescendo, and Overflow. You bait out the Overflow, and then you just back row remove all the Crescendo, and then you're playing through a monster, and you've got you could just play main
you've
phase
got,
2.
Yeah, it's 5 cards to play.
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
And then the last 3. So for the other 2 targets going into like after siding, if you're going first. So and so instead of like milling summon limit against like Orcust or something, you can mill like anti-spell for Pendulum or like Striker or something, and then you have EEV for like Striker or like stuff like Autogeist that just plays like loads of the same spell trap.
Yeah, things like Striker, you side in both of these, because if you hard draw one, you're laughing, and if not, like you can just mill this one, which is the better one against Striker, but it's still like really good just to hard draw one of them.
Yeah, like if you're going fast and you hard draw like any like this or like the summon limit, if you like hard draw them, it's almost like better than doing the combo because they can't stop you getting to like one of the most powerful cards in your deck.
And you can't brick on them because there's only one of them.
Yeah.
Against like Orcust, like pure when I'm going first, I side in all three. Because like it makes your chances of hard drawing one like so much more, and like this is just good to draw into because you can always get to a ding. So it's not like summon limit and anti-spell where they're not that great to draw into in late game. This, if you draw into it, you just bring back a ding, and then like turn off all their spells, and they're playing more monsters, and you're playing with your whole deck, and you're just gonna outgrind them.
Yeah. And then the last card we played is another extra deck spot, which is Kang Gorgon, and this pretty much just gets sided in against Striker because your Nightmare is like completely useless. Like it never does
still
anything.
a dark, so it serves a similar purpose to like Orcust.
Yeah.
Yeah. My extra side deck was exactly the same, apart from I had the gnomes
instead of the Lanciers.
Yeah.
No worries. Right. So thank you for that in-depth deck profile and discussion. So you've both started the regional season very well. So we're looking forward to YCS Ghent. Do either of you have any closing thoughts?
This deck is broken.
Yeah. Like it just, if you go like fast, you can do like full combo and just win the game. Like if you win the dice roll, you pretty much win the match like a lot of the time.
It's so consistent. I very rarely like not do combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Azathoth means like you turn off hand traps a lot of the time as well, which is just like gives you so much less to play around, which gives you so much less to think about. So the games are just easier.
Yeah. Even if you can't get into like. Even if you can't get into like Azathoth and they hand trap you 2 or 3 times, you always get into like Orcust combo pretty much, or you always end on like a Galatea a Dweller.
They're basically playing into Orcust but with less cards in their hand.
Yeah.
So you're just playing better Orcust.
No worries. Right. Well, thank you very much, you two.
Thank you.
Everyone, pick up your gnomes for YCS Ghent, and hopefully you two can show a performance and along with the rest of the team there.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.